So, Amina, you said earlier that you're just being honest, and I believe you. Okay, you're a truth teller. Now, Jerry Jones, stop. Jerry Jones says the Cowboys will go as Zeke goes? What? Why? He's not even their best running back. Ashley Nicole Moss, Cowboys fan, joins us. Am I right or am I right? Zeke Elliott is no longer the Cowboys' best running back. Hello, Pollard, right?
I feel like this is a setup. I feel like I've been set up, hoodwinked, bamboozled. I feel like
would I do that to you?
Here's the thing. I think Zeke is their best running back depending on what type of play you're running, right? I think with a running back like Zeke, obviously you're not going to get the running back of 3 years ago. He has a lot of miles on him. The Cowboys for a big part of time were a run-heavy offense, so you utilize your running back a lot. That's always been their formula, which is why they've always invested so much into that offensive line. And to the dismay of a lot of Cowboys fans, ignored their defense in effort to make that offensive line almost perfect so Zeke would have a hole to run through or whichever running back came before him. I think now they're starting to kind of shift gears a little bit and see that the defense matters. Dak's going to throw that ball some more. We'll get into the wide receiver situation a little bit later. But in terms of a running back, Zeke is still going to be that running back you want to power through the hole, right? He's still going to be that battering ram, if you will. If you want someone a little bit more elusive, someone who's going to run those routes, someone who's going to be quicker in speed, then that's when you bring in Tony Pollard. So I still think they're a great 1-2 punch combo. It's just that he's going to be utilized differently than the Ezekiel Elliott of 3-4 years ago.
And so when you talk about Ezekiel Elliott, right, I feel like he hasn't really had the seasons in recent history how he has like when he first came into the league. Like, are you still confident that he has that ability, that he's worked this offseason, that he's worked during training camp to kind of push this offense where it needs to be?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at him, obviously you don't know the intricate details, but if you look at him, he looks a lot slimmer. He looks leaner. He doesn't look as hefty, which is obviously going to make him a little bit faster. Zeke's never been like abundantly fast. That's never really been his game. It's always really been his strength, right? But as you get older, you want to do everything in your power to go ahead and have things work in your favor. So you don't want extra weight on you because that's already going to slow down somebody who wasn't necessarily the fastest to begin with. I think Zeke, though, is still like a top tier running back. You're just going to have to utilize him differently. I don't think that Tony Pollard is going to be running back number one. I still think that Zeke has the capabilities that make him the first running back, your first option always. But again, that's why you have more than one, right? That's why you have a depth chart, because if you want to run certain schemes that may not be what's in his wheelbarrow anymore, that's when you tap into Tony Pollard, or if this is another football team, whoever, next running back up is. That's kind of the gist of what a depth chart is.
Now, see, you asked me if I was setting you up. I'm not setting you up, but whoever is in control, I'm going to say Gary Carter is, because he's showing this B-roll, and everything I see is Zeke fumbling.
I'm not looking at it. Listen, Zeke has to do better. Zeke has to do better holding on to that ball. But that has nothing to do with his size, his speed. That's always been an issue with Ezekiel Elliott. He has times where he's a little clumsy with that football. That's been consistent throughout his entire career. So that's not something that just came out of thin air. He has to do a better job of holding on to that ball. And I think if you utilize him correctly and you're not having him, almost like a wide receiver out there, you don't rely on him to not only catch it, but then run with it. But listen, regardless of what the scheme is, he has to hold onto the ball with two hands, Zeke. Yeah. 2 hands. I need to see 2 hands on the football. 2 hands. Yeah.
Ashley, I'll just say before I give it to Amina here, context matters. So our producer, Gary Carter, you probably know this already, but I just want to remind you going into the 2022 season, he's a Washington Commanders fan. Big time. Like old school Commanders fan. So
I'm sorry
he's running that video. Yeah, that's right. He's running that video because, one, he's upset that the Commanders are not really relevant and haven't won in a very long time. But two, he's angry. He's just angry. So that's why that video.
If I was a Commanders fan, I'd be angry too. So I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Can't relate though. You know. Can't relate.
The shade, child. Okay, let's kind of move over to Dak Prescott, because I feel like there's a lot to be said about Dak this upcoming season and the expectations on him. And even though Jerry Jones got on TV yesterday and said that this offense goes as Zeke goes, I think it's obvious that Dak Prescott is the head of this offense, that it's going to run through him. I feel like as Dak Prescott goes, that this entire Cowboys team is going to go. So, Ash, what is the expectation for this Cowboys team after falling short last season? The realistic expectation, because I know you're a Cowboys fan. So.
I mean, obviously it's always Super Bowl, but listen, as real as it can get, this team has to win in the postseason. It's great to go ahead and win your division. It's great to go ahead and win regular season games. But if you can't win when it counts, then what good is being the most valuable franchise in the NFL, right? And the Cowboys constantly get to the playoffs and underperform. And you can't continually get away with that. And Dak has to showcase that he's not just a regular season leader, he's a playoff leader. Now, does that mean that this team is going to the Super Bowl? I don't know. Every single year I say the same thing. So I'm going to say we're going to the Super Bowl, but realistically, the team just needs to show that they need to win. And it's going to be tough. Listen, you lost Amari Cooper. Everyone knows that quarterback and wide receiver telepathy, if you will, is very, very hard to just redo with new guys. It takes a while to establish that chemistry. Dak's decision-making is going to have to be a lot better. He's going to have to be a lot quicker with that decision-making. Either throw the ball away. If you don't have an open receiver, run the ball. Don't do anything crazy. The decision-making has to be better than it's ever been. But this team has to win when it counts. It can't just continually be regular season champs. That's not going to cut it anymore.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.